Welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week session. I'm James Nave.
I'm Allegra Houston.
And on Saturdays, we gather with a group of writers, and maybe you've tuned into this before as well, and you might have already heard this, but we'll say it again. We gather with these writers, and what we do in an hour is generate a 10-minute piece of timed writing within the context of the hour. And then after that's all said and done, we offer it to you by way of this video. So that's what we're going to do today.
So here's how the prep for that 10 minutes works. We choose an image in advance and we put it up on the screen for 2 minutes, and we ask everyone on the call to generate a list of words or very short phrases. Whatever pops into your head as you look at this image, write it down in a list.
On a sheet of paper, and we prefer the use of a pen. So if you happen to have those two little items handy, grab hold of them and avoid the keyboard. This is an interesting organic experience.
That piece of paper was a piece of paper that we were writing notes to each other on during the call. This is what your piece of paper will end up looking like, although perhaps not quite that long, because that is the community list, which we will get to later. So we will put the image up on the screen now. And in the next 2 minutes, please make a list of single words or very short phrases, anything at all, whatever pops into your head, write it down.
So now you have your own personal list. Same thing happens on Saturdays. Everybody generates a list. That's their personal list. Then we go around the Zoom room and ask each person to give us one word or phrase from the personal list, and we end up with a community list. So everybody has two lists, the one they generated and then the one that we make as the community list. So what we would like to do now is share our community list with you, and Allegra is going to read it for you.
The community list is great. It functions as a kind of collective imagination that you can draw from as you like. So we will put it up on the screen again during the 10-minute writing period, but you might want to write some of these words down, maybe all of them as I read them. Something happens when you write it down, so maybe add some of these to your list. Here we go. Witnessed, mirror images, sheep know stars, golden corn, origin of grace, eyes behind, gods or monsters, I'm leaving. A Hebrew phrase that I think is panim al panim, which means face to face with the divine. Senator defying MAGA, watching and waiting, my guys are mowing. Royal stance, our spirit ancestors, Thou art holier. Who will remember? Skin of jet, judgment, dress to kill, opulence, leopard attire, life in the background, echoes, royal blue and gold, walk with me, softened edge, coffin edge. Sometimes we add things to the list that we miss here, but we think, oh, well, that's interesting. So softened edge was what our participant actually said, but a number of us heard coffin edge and we thought, oh, we'll add that. And then
The
my guys
best,
are mowing.
the best one is my guys. My guys are mowing.
When she came off mute, she said, was explaining why she'd been on mute because my guys are mowing. So the first thing she said was, my guys are mowing.
Everybody.
Yeah, I'm taking that. And quite a lot of people actually used it in the 10 minutes. So you can use as many or as few of these words as you like when you write for 10 minutes, which is coming up next.
And really all you need to know is the list that you have in front of you. It contains many, many different imaginative opportunities. My guys are mowing would do for a prompt, and you wouldn't need any of the other words on your list or our list. And yet when you start to put the words together in different combinations, you will see how those combinations maybe don't at first make sense to your rational mind, but somehow your imaginative mind understands them. So that's what we're going to ask you to do now, is to lean into the imaginativeness of what your creative sensibilities would like to do, and just play with it a bit and see what comes out.
And like all playing, you don't have to play with every toy in the playpen. You don't have to play with every word on the to list. They are just toys. You choose whichever one or ones you want to play with. And the goal, there's only one goal here. The idea of trying to write well in 10 minutes is completely ridiculous, although as it happens, ridiculous is often accurate or inaccurate. The only goal really is just simply to surprise yourself. And you do that by letting your imagination play.
So here you go. 10 minutes begins now.
So now you have something that didn't exist 10 minutes ago. And, maybe you think, oh, well, so what? But here's so what. What you can do with it is make an impact on the universe with it. When you read it aloud, which is what we're going to ask you to do now, your words make an imprint on the air. You could think of yourself as writing on the air. That was an idea that Nave came up with a couple of days ago for this book that we're working on. So when you read your work aloud, you give it a new reality, a further reality, almost a physical reality, because those are sound waves. They're touching you, they're touching anybody else in the room. But even if it's an empty room, you are your most important audience. And when you read that writing aloud, when you give it voice, when you give it form into the world, you appreciate what you like about your writing much more than the things that you aren't happy with. If you read it silently on the page, you're going to be looking for editing opportunities. So you're going to be looking for what you don't like. But you can't do editing when you're reading aloud, or at least not on the spot. You will appreciate, you'll get a little hit of dopamine with everything you like. And that will push you towards what's strong and original in your writing. And also, if you have a vicious inner critic, this is how you tame it. So put us on pause now, please, and read what you wrote aloud.
Your voice filled the air. Somebody may have been listening. Maybe that somebody was you, but however it played out, you spoke your words, and the spoken words are just terrific. And we encourage you to read aloud as much as possible. And if it's your first run at this, you might have felt a little bit, who am I supposed to be doing this? But yet, when you go out and you go into the convenience store and you buy something and you say thank you to the person that hands you what you bought, that's spoken word too. Your voice is a treasured sense to those people who care about you. So care about your voice in the way that others care about it. And that's why we love the spoken word. What's next?
Well, the written word, actually. You can share what you wrote if you like. We have a platform called Circle. And in the prompt of the week section on that platform are all the prompts that we have done every week for 4.5 years now, along with what people wrote to them as they chose to post. So if you would like to share what you wrote, and we hope that you will, here is how you get to the Circle. Go to imaginativestorm.com, scroll down, and you will see free online sessions every Thursday and Saturday. Click there, and it will take you to the page that talks about the writing prompt of the week. You will see here, post on the Circle. You can click on either the image or the text. It will take you down here and click go to the Circle. When you get there, it will look a little different because you aren't logged in as I am. It will ask you to make a username and password. It's also free. And then you will end up probably on this page, Get Started. So scroll down to Prompt of the Week here in the left-hand navigation. And you will see every prompt that we have offered for 4.5 years here. So it's a huge, huge archive. So let me just click on one and I will show you. We'll click on Easter Island. This is an 18th century painting of Easter Island. So you will see a little explanation, a link to the YouTube video of this prompt, the Saturday community word list, the Thursday community word list, and what people have posted and what people you can like and reply. So often people reply, we reply, other people reply to one another. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, boom, you will see this little window. What are your thoughts? You click in it, you type what you wrote into this box, and then you will click post, and you're done.
So we hope you do share this on the Circle. If you like what you wrote, that's a great place for us to get to know you. The image, Kathleen Wilson, who's on our calls all the time, is a terrific visual artist. She's based out of LA, and she just generates some magnificent work. And we're lucky to be able to show some of her images now and then. And so the one you've worked with just now, that came from the brush of Kathleen Wilson.
And it's titled Ethiopian Holyman. So you can see more of Kathleen's work at kathleenawilson.com, and that link is in the text under this video.
So thank you ever so much for, one more thing. If you'd like to join us on Saturday or on Thursday for our free Imaginative Storm workshops and gatherings, you can go to imaginativestorm.com, and there you'll find a link for that. And we do a lot more than the free workshops. We have books, we have audio courses. Allegra and I have been thinking about this for many years. And if you have the desire to really push yourself into your writing practice, we have a lot of tips and thoughts and ideas that will help you get the wind in the sails, keep that momentum up and the enthusiasm going, and generate some material that maybe you've been dreaming of doing for years. Material
that will surprise and amaze you. Very often people who do our courses live or the self-paced courses, they say, I had no idea I was capable of writing like that. So if you would like to think something like that, check them out at imaginativestorm.com.
So bravo for you. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you come back very, very soon.
Goodbye.